Alrighty, what is going on everybody, Ninja here, and today we're back at it again with a Dragon Ball discussion. Now today's Dragon Ball discussion is an open-ended question. Today's topic will be, can there be too much fan service in Dragon Ball? Now in case you don't know what fan service is pretty much something used in the story just to appeal to the fans. It doesn't really use logic or common sense, and quite frankly, half the time it doesn't even make sense to begin with. But the thing is, it's so satisfying and caters to us, the fans, that it just makes it hard to hate on it or dislike it. In fact, it's hard not to like fan service, if I'm being honest. This can include transformations and power-ups that make little to no sense, throwbacks to the original Dragon Ball, which can be very enjoyable, but can also be very pointless. But regardless, fan service is there, and we have to accept that it's going to be there nonetheless, because without fan service, the fans won't buy or care about anything. You could have the best Dragon Ball writing ever, and quite frankly, one of the best writing in forms of fiction in general. You could have amazing writing, and yet if you don't have fan service, the fans won't care about it enough. So it's good to have fan service from a marketing point of view, so fans will be engaged and will always happily talk about something and will always be interested no matter how bad the writing is. But if you look at it from a critical point of view, fan service does absolutely nothing, like I said. The reason Frieza was brought back in Resurrection F was just to appeal to the fans of Frieza and give him some extra time once again. Let's be honest, did Resurrection F do anything other than appeal to the fans? Yeah, that's what I thought. And I even made a video talking about, is Resurrection F pointless? So go check it out once you're done with this one. And I think Resurrection F just appealing to the fans, and like including the other background characters to give them some shine against the Frieza soldiers, while that was enjoyable, don't get me wrong, the other stuff, Resurrection F's story was just so bland. I think a good portion of this was they focused too much on the fan service and they didn't care too much about the actual story. Like comparing something like Battle of Gods. I know quite a bit of people who absolutely do not like Battle of Gods, but then again, if you look at Battle of Gods, it doesn't have that much fan service. It's there, don't get me wrong, but it focuses more on the story element, which is why I actually like it more. But now let's fast forward to the Universal Tournament. Its biggest example of fan service here is pretty much implementing Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. An old age fan favorite technique that is loved by many is now being implemented back, and people were loving this so much. Despite the fact that it kind of messed up Dragon Ball power scaling and made it even more confusing, but let's not get into it. And in the Trunks arc, oh boy, this is where the fan service was crazy. First of all, it brought back future Trunks, one of the most beloved Dragon Ball characters to date, to appeal to the fans and finally get him back in the series once and for all. And then we freaking have an evil Goku, which fans have always been wanting, even before Dragon Ball Super came out. He was always in stuff like Dragon Ball AF, and fans were like really interested to see an evil Goku, despite the fact that it makes little to no sense, but this time it was actually executed pretty good. And of course, we were reintroduced to the Mafuba, bringing it back an old technique from the original Dragon Ball, and guess what? It literally amounted to nothing. It was just shown to say, hey, this is just a little throwback to the people who are still nostalgic about the original Dragon Ball stuff. So even though this won't do anything, it's nice, right? Well, what's the point of introducing it if it does nothing to the story in the first place? And here's a really, really big one. This is just flat out big obvious one. Vegito got introduced once again. Now fans, this is a big one. Fans have always wanted to see a fusion between Goku and Vegito once again for many, many years. Ever since Super started, fans were always wanting at least one fusion. And guess what? It actually happened. We got to see Vegito and he went Super Saiyan Blue. So the fan service was real on that. We fans got delivered on the thing. And guess what? Vegito, he did nothing. He didn't even get to finish off the final opponent. He was just introduced for saying, hey, you guys wanted a fusion? Well, here he is for only like 6 minutes. Bruh. So as you can see, yes, there can be too much fan service in Dragon Ball. In fact, if there is too much fan service in Dragon Ball, it can take away from the overall writing and depth of the story. But it is still okay to have fan service nonetheless in Dragon Ball. A movie like Battle of Gods, like I said earlier, didn't have that much fan service, but it was still there. And quite frankly, some of the best parts of the movie were the fan service. And the thing that made it worth it was because the fan service actually impacted the story, and it balances out really well to the point where pretty much Battle of Gods fan service wouldn't impact the story in like a negative way, and it actually made sense. So it's okay to have balanced fan service like that. Just don't go overboard with it. So yeah guys, that's just been my laid back discussion for today. Do you guys think that there can be too much fan service in Dragon Ball? I would like to hear everyone's take on this opinion. But anyways guys, thanks so much for watching. Ninja out. Peace everybody and have a happy holidays. Thanks to One Piece Nation for allowing me to use our gameplay that we recorded yesterday in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. It's the background of the gameplay that you saw in today's video. Big shout out to him. I'll channel link in the description below.